I said it before, and somehow, someway, I'm gonna have to keep saying it, but Phil Demers is a scam artist. He is a gaslighting scam artist. So he's recently been going on about how he single-handedly, along with his team of UrgentSeas, right, have freed Romeo and Juliet, the three orcas that were trapped inside of Miami Sea Aquarium. He claims that he freed them, right? Now, it sounds good because they did get transferred to a different place where they were not at Miami Sea Aquarium, but there is another catch. One of the manatees got transferred over to SeaWorld for what they're claiming is health assistance. So one of the manatees is being exploited at SeaWorld. Apparently, after they get this health assistance, they're going to be exploited because that's what SeaWorld is. They exploit animals. The two manatees that he claims that him and his team rescued because they posted some viral drone video that got millions of views on TikTok, those two manatees have now been transferred to a zoo called Zoo Tampa in Florida. So now they are being exploited in a zoo. Zoos do not help animals. It's a place where humans pay to see animals in captivity. Somehow, some way, there's tons of articles mentioning him. NBC, BBC, all these popular news broadcasting companies are putting him on blast, putting Phil Demers on blast, a scam artist, someone who doesn't care about animal rights. And I've made it more clear than ever, just watch my previous video. They're putting him on blast for getting an animal trapped in captivity put into another place of captivity. The only difference now is that they're in captivity, but they're surrounded by other sea animals that are also in captivity. So you didn't actually free any animals. You just got them together with some other animals that are also still in captivity and still have no place to swim around. They're in captivity and they're being watched and profited on by humans. This is not a rescue by any means, and yet we have all these news corporations. Here you go, scam artist. Here you go, Phil. Here's your mic. Tell us how you did it. This is not animal rights, and these clowns are not part of the animal rights movement. This is why real activists have to share this footage and share what I'm saying, because it's crazy that nobody sees the gaslighting that's going on here. You can't just take an animal from a facility that exploits them, give them to another facility that exploits them, and claim that you rescued them. That's absolutely delusional. Now, I don't know if he's even working with Zoo Tampa. I don't know if he intentionally did that to make them money and they gave him money because of that, but somehow, some way, it's playing out in his favor of him getting the spotlight, him being painted as some good guy when all you did was post a drone video, and now these manatees that you claim were in captivity, you just put them back into captivity. The only difference was they're surrounded by other sea animals, like I said before. Again, it's still an unnatural habitat for them. They're going to be stressed out because you have, 5, 6 other manatees in this small enclosed space. I've seen in his video where he has, looks like a sea turtle also living in the same habitat, but they're still in an aquarium. So you just move them from one aquarium where he was alone, and you just put him in another aquarium where a bunch of these large sea cows are enclosed in a small space where they can be watched by humans for profit. That's what Zoo Tampa is. It's a zoo that profits off of wild animals. It's not a sanctuary that's there specifically for the animals, and it's taken in donations. It's literally profiting off of the suffering of animals. And I suppose the only people who think that this is a legitimate win for these animals are people who are just fake activists, people who are clowns who support Phil. Phil's a clown who has openly admitted to enjoying the flesh of animals. He brags about it. He brags about the fact that he took a picture of him killing a fish and whatnot.
In fact, just today I ate sausage. It was delicious, and in retrospect, I wish I'd written it myself. I eat meat, and I fight against whale.
And there's actually some of his delusional supporters who think that's cool. They say, oh, so what, he eats fish and he wants to save animals. He's part of the animal rights movement. Are you absolutely fucking delusional? So when we talk about the commercial fishing industry, one of the biggest threat to whales, orcas, is commercial fishing, because they take the largest net that they possibly can and they just grab however many fish they possibly can. And throughout this process, they're bringing in sea turtles, they're bringing in whales, orcas, you name it, whatever. So they're just literally fishing and taking all the life out of the ocean that they possibly can. This is how they keep up with human consumption. I don't think humans realize how much they consume. You know, humans are a very gluttonous species. So this is what they do to keep up in consumption. It's no ethical process going on. So that's a huge threat to orcas, and that's something that they want to ignore, right? But oh no, you can eat fish and still be for the releasing of orcas or for the protection of orcas. That's not how it works. The fishing industry and the commercial fishing industry, which is the biggest provider of fish worldwide for consumers, is the biggest threat to whales and orcas. So once again, that doesn't go hand in hand. But these are the facts that these closed-minded, wannabe animal rights activists portray. These are fraudulent clowns. These aren't clowns that care about animal rights, and it's clear as day to see it. It's clear as day to see it. If you put the facts together, it's clear as day to see that this is not a clown that cares about animal rights. Phil Demers has never cared about animal rights, and he made it more clear than ever when he went on a live stream and bragged about the killing of pigs, them dying in gas chambers. It's funny to him. He brags about these things, and it's funny because he even has a quote that says, it says something along the lines of, you can't have these animals in an enclosed space and they don't go mentally insane. Well, what the fuck do you think the animals inside a slaughterhouse, a factory farm, an animal testing lab, a homestead farm, all of these things that he supports, what do you think they go through? They're mentally unstable because they are kept in captivity. They're kept away from their families, and until the day that they are brought to their violent deaths, because selfish people want to continue eating their fucking flesh. Selfish, gluttonous people who don't want to change their actions, who don't want to open their minds and look into the truth. They just want to keep on with the same disgusting ways that they were born into, that society has forced upon them, and they don't want to think outside the box and change their habits for the better of others. They just want to put on their little shades, continue eating their animal products, and everything's going to be fine for them. But when you have that mindset, it results in the killing of trillions and trillions of animals, which is where we're at now. Selfish people doing selfish things, and this is where we're at. Animals have to pay the price for selfish human actions. Phil Demers is a fraud. The UrgentSeas group is a fraud. None of them care about animal rights whatsoever. It's clear as day. I don't know how much more proof I have to provide to prove it, but I'm gonna keep creating and making more proof. You know, enough proof is not enough proof to some people, so it's gonna keep coming as the videos keep on rolling. So be sure to share it. This information getting out is, you know, very important, but I just think it's crazy how somebody gets applauded for, you know, I think it's crazy how somebody gets applauded for removing animals from captivity just to put them back in captivity. You didn't do anything. You just put them back in another place that's exploiting them. What did you do? Like, and you got all these news outlets that are making these stories about this guy. He didn't accomplish a single thing. One of the manatees that was in Miami Sea Aquarium went to SeaWorld. SeaWorld exploits and kills animals, just like Miami Sea Aquarium does. The other two manatees just went to a zoo Tampa in Florida. Zoos exploit animals for profit. They're not a sanctuary. They're not there specifically and purely for the health of those animals. So be my guest at this point.